Yo, what up, guys? It's Gerardo here with another recap video. Hoping to drop some lessons for you and I. So today I traded two plays. ARA I swung overnight for a nice gain, and CBL. ARA was the overnight play that I did it after hours yesterday. I entered at a 250 quantity. Entry price was at 13.25. I did pay heavy commissions because of fees at trade zero, and I exited at 12.62. I'm going to show you guys my trade zero web platform in a second, showing all the exits and entries, as well as CBL overextended gap down. Sold it 1,200 shares. Entry price was 164 average, and exit was at 1.51. Totally sold or covered both of these very early, but you know what? Profited nonetheless. Profited about $300 today. Unfortunately, this trade. Oh, actually, I could just calculate it right here. So right here, I profited. Oh, 157 minus the 51, so give or take $100 plus another 151 is around $250 on a small account. And let me jump into the thought process, the thesis, how I came about entering these trades. So first off, let's go over ARA and why I jumped in on this. So ARA, I'll show you guys how I saw it yesterday. Can I even do that? Never mind. We're gonna just go through it. Oh, here. Okay. So yesterday, this is how I saw it. Huge move. Like I said in my other videos, huge move, 122%. Volume is pretty abnormal. Volume down here is pretty abnormal than usual. Moving all the way up to touching $14, I believe, or 13.80 at its top. Now, this thing has moved up so much without any opening red. I think, oh, right here it opened red, but it was too early on the move. Not a lot of people were bag holders inside this play yet, so not a lot of people were selling off when this thing slightly dipped red this second day of the run up. So that's nothing to worry about. So I was paying attention to this whole move, 122%. And after hours yesterday, I saw that it immediately fell down below 1350, and 1351 was where it closed, by the way, or 1350. What was it? It closed at 1349, but I just rounded up to 1350, and I actually have this in the wrong spot. But I use 1350. It's a nice whole number. I'm not gonna put my resistance or risk level at 1349. We want to go for the closest round number that traders will usually sell off near, so or buy near. So it immediately shot down after its close, and tried bouncing up but couldn't. So that's why I threw in some orders right here at 1325. This is probably me, to be honest. I threw in some orders right around here, got filled, risking off of this 1350 area. Okay, so this morning opened and it was just so slow. I'm going to show you guys a screenshot of my trade. Hopefully this is it. Okay. So I entered right here 1325 after hours yesterday, and it was moving down, but it was so slow. The volume was just not there, and I was just very hesitant on holding it much longer, so I just sold it up. I covered it up when when we were getting close to this bounce area, this 1260 area. So I covered it up, and it did bounce, and it bounced all the way back up to 13 actually. But yeah, it bounced up all the way back up to 13. This is in, by the way, this is in I think 5 minute increments. So it bounced up to 13, and I was like, oh man, I made the right move. This thing might rip back on up. But the bounce completely failed, and it just fell apart, guys. It went all the way down to 12. I want to say it's about 1090, maybe 1090, 1080, something like that. And I covered it up all the way up here at 1262 was my exit. So that was super, super frustrating. Could have made a lot more money than that. But, it happens. And, I'm glad to at least be green. So that's what's important. So, so my other play was CBL. Now, CBL was something I saw this morning, and it was very. It showed the type of pattern that I want to see after hours. I was thinking about getting in on it yesterday, but opted not to because TradeZero just has such high costs of holding overnight on the short. So I just waited, and you know what? It remained in this channel right here between 169 and 160, and this is what you guys want to look for after this overextension. You want to find this type of action after hours. Immediately getting shot down after the closing of the day is very negative on the stock. It gives it a very negative outlook on the stock, and a lot of traders are very nervous right off the bat. I mean, this thing just closed and it just shot on down to 160 and was holding below the closing price of 169. So this morning I got in a couple times. I smacked the bid at one point at 161, and then eventually got my average up to 163.6 or whatever it was, 164. And it was really starting to worry me up here. Okay, what? It's really starting to worry. Okay, this program is tweaking on me. Okay, so it was really starting to worry me up here at the opening bell. So not a lot of volume was going in on this thing. I was worried again. I was thinking, oh man, when volume comes in, I'm hoping this thing is below the closing price, because if it's above and volume starts coming in, maybe buyers might be coming in to start buying this thing up and pushing it past its closing price of yesterday. So we were just nearing it, and at one point we did pop up to 170, but I was trying to be very firm and be super unemotional, and I was risking off of this 170 area, and it was very close to breaking it. I was about to get my stop loss hit, but then it came down and just boom, started just falling on down, and I covered it up at 151. Yeah, 151, and it bounced, and I held on to 200 shares, and then it just collapsed, and I covered the other 200 at, I think, 146. I think it was 146. Yeah, it was 146, I believe. And then and it just kept on falling. It could have held those 1200, those, what was it? Yeah, 1200 shares for much longer, but you know what? Green is green. I'm happy with my gains. This is what you guys want to look for after hours. This is super critical. This is seriously one of the clearest patterns I have ever traded. It's been going very well for me, and I'm going to continue playing this thing because look at this. After that signal, this thing dropped from its closing price at 169, let's just round to 170, to its low. That's a 21% best case scenario. That's pretty fucking awesome, man. But I only got, how much did I get? Oh wait, no, my average was 164-ish. So 151. I got about 7.5% on my money. Not bad. Not bad at all. But that's it. That's it for today. You guys really should look out for that pattern. Let me see. I'm pretty sure it wasn't as clear cut on ARA after hours. but it was the same logic, you know. There was just not as much volume on this. Another play that had similar type of drop. Look at this thing, man. I was just in on this yesterday, and I took I think a gain on it, right? Yeah, $147 gain on this. But I mean, I got out right here before it ripped back up. But if I got in after hours, oh man, because this was perfect. I was actually looking at this after hours yesterday, but opted to stay away just because of, again, the fees. And I used up my IB trades, so I didn't have a broker, an account at a broker where the fees are not as big. So, anyways, look at this thing. Shot all the way down. This is what I really wanted on this day, but it just squeezed me out eventually. Well, not squeezed me out. I took profit, but it ripped back on up. Had I got in on this morning, oh man, or last night, yesterday before after hours, oh man, this is a beauty. Look at this. Again, 20%. And this is what you guys can look for usually. About 20% drop on these plays from its close yesterday. About 20%. Another play I was looking at on the heavy resistance. Okay, what? Oh, heavy resistance. Look, 25 million shares traded on this day right here. It got knocked down. This is like sort of a guide. This is your compass. You look at this, and when this thing rips back on up towards that area, you want to wait for a hard pull. And I believe I was still, nursing my CBL trade, so I didn't want to jump in on anything else. But this is what you want to look for. This thing shot up to 315, right? Up here, and then it dropped from 315 or 314 down to 270. That's a 13-14% pullback. That's pretty vicious. And then when it bounces back towards that area, oh man, that's where it's at. That's where the money's at, guys. You want to get in right around here, risking off of this high, and be ready for this huge fall down. Because all that resistance is trying to sell into this. All those back holders are trying to sell into this pop, and that creates huge profits. Look at this. Oh man. Woo, 30%. Wow. I wish I got in on that. I was watching it around here just because I saw the pattern, but again, I was just taking care of CBL. I was really watching that. I don't like being in multiple positions, multiple trades at a time. I'm not into that. I like being 1-2 max, and that's why I messed up on MIK, RAD, MNK yesterday. That's why I took a pretty big loss on MIK. Not just taking profits, but rather being in so many different trades. So that's it. Hope you guys like this video. Drop a comment, give me a like, give me something. Show that you guys are interested. But either way, I'm going to continue pushing these videos out just because I really want to document this whole journey, because I know I'm going to get to 100K, and I just really want to be able to look back and see how I progress throughout this journey. Anyways, that's all. You guys have a good one, alright? Bye-bye.